G'day, this is the first of a series of YouTubes presented by me and my technical staff explaining the concepts of VAX and alpha virtualization. Many of you have never seen a VAX and never want to see it. Many of you have never seen an alpha and don't want, but a lot of technical people know what virtualization is, and this is really, really clever stuff. I'll go to the whiteboard here and give you a picture of what we're trying to do. So the computer name was VAX. It ran an operating system called VMS. It was first sold by Digital in 1975, and there's about 500,000 systems still in operation around the world, we believe. Each had a disk, a tape, a network, and an operating system. Just here on my right is a real VAX. This is a typical VAX model 3100, the highest volume product that Digital ever made. And it ran the VMS operating system. The biggest VAX is as big as a very large refrigerator and ran very large important applications. And the blue box here, next to it, is an alpha server. And this is a highest volume alpha server ever made by Digital. It contains some disks, but you can have external storage, you can connect it to a SAN. It's got floppy disks, very innovative at the time. And it ran the two operating systems, one called VMS and the other called True64 Unix. Like every computer, it connect the tape drive, connects the disk drives, connect to a network, run an operating system, run your Oracle, run your SAP, run DB2, run Infomix. At the time, the first 64-bit commercial computer, and at the time, for a period, the fastest computers you could buy. To the right on this diagram, we've got the destination of what we're trying to show you. So the important part of this environment is everything above the hardware. We're going to take that and we're going to run it on a standard Windows server. In a minute, what we'll do is we'll run up the operating system called OpenVMS, a 64-bit operating system. We're going to run it on my technical consultant, John's laptop. And on the laptop, we've got a instruction set, which happens to be 64-bit, because it happens to be a quad-core 64-bit CPU from Intel. We're running the Windows operating system, 64-bit. It happens to be Windows 7. And then we're going to show you in later sessions how we simply copy the files, all the software bit, onto John's laptop and run it. So the concept of virtualization is that we get rid of all of the old hardware and we run your old software, which will never age, and we'll run that old software, which is the most important part of the investment that you made, on the fastest, cheapest, modern day computer. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you this laptop here, and here we've got Windows 7 and we've got an application which is saying, what would you like to run on this machine here? We're going to run an alpha server called a DS10L for low profile, and we've described this as a single CPU, 1 gigabyte virtual machine. And this particular piece of software is called the Charon software, C-H-A-R-O-N, from a company called Stromosys, which is based in Geneva. So go to stromosys.com and you can download a version of this for completely free, which will run your VMS or your True64 on any laptop, any 32-bit laptop. But we're running the full production version, and to do that we need a license key. This is software which is highly contested in some marketplaces, and this is the protection for that. It is a unique license key for this customer. So to start up the environment, we're going to start a piece of software called the launcher, which starts a service on Windows. The service says run, turn the electricity onto this alpha here. Okay, so the alpha electricity has been turned on. If you turn on a real alpha, this is what you'll see. It's saying it's a DS10L. I'm now going to type in the commands that a real system manager would type in. Boot DKA0, which is the first disk in a driver, a RAID set, and that typically contains the operating system. When I do that on a real alpha, it goes off to the boot sector block, tells you that we're running VMS 7.1, We can run every version of VMS and every version of True64 that Digital, Compaq and HP ever wrote. Right back from version 5.4 of VMS, actually 4.5 on VAX, right through to 8.3, which is available now, the latest available on Alpha. We're going to log into this just like we'd log into a real Alpha. And when we do, we get to our console and we'll see that we can do all the commands and every single thing that any person with an Alpha can do. Because it's a real Alpha, we're going to shut it down in an orderly manner, and we'll shut it down like you would a real Alpha. So on this laptop we have obviously oodles of CPU time relative to these older technologies, oodles of disk space, much more network speed, and the result is for our customers, about 250 in Australia, they have disposed of the hardware and protected their investment. This prints newspapers, makes beer cans, rolls aluminium, controls satellites, all here in Australia, and around the world there's 6,500 sites. Next session we'll actually do a migration for you from a small Alpha server onto John's laptop so you can see the whole process. See you next time.